So students, I have explained you all the topics related to exercise 2.2, 2.3 and 2.4 in the previous sections. Now I'm going to move to exercise 2.5, and here we are not going to discuss about the fractional values. Here we are going to discuss about the decimal numbers. You have read in the previous classes that. Let me just refresh that topics here. So first of all, decimal numbers are something like this. You can see 253.417. So you can see there are two places. There are a place in the left side of the decimal, a place on the right side of the decimal. So यहाँ पे आपको एक right side में portion दिख रहा है, एक left side में portion दिख रहा है. So इस decimal value में दो portions होते हैं, एक तो right side पे होता है, एक left side पे होता है. सबसे पहले मैं आपको place value बताता हूँ क्या होती है. What is place value? Right? So आपने छोटी classes में भी पढ़ा होगा. Like let me just move with the right side, left side, sorry, right? So अब यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे कि left side में जो सबसे पहली digit होती है उसको हम बोलते हैं ones. Then उसके बाद होता है tens. Then होता है 100. So if there is also another digit, suppose, so there will be thousands. More, then will be 10,000. Then if there is other one, so there will be lakh, and so on. 10 lakh, then crore, then 10 crore. So this is how it move on to the left hand side, right? So now I'm going to move to the right hand side of the decimal, right? So at this, the place value of the first digit just after the decimal is TENTHS. So tenths, and it can be written as 1 upon 10, right? Whether if I just place this value, so it can be 1, it can be 10, 100, 1000, then 10,000, then lakh, you all know 5 zeros, then 10 lakh means 6 zeros, then crore means 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on, right? So here on the right hand side, the first position or place value is tenths, right? The next one is HUNDRED, 100, and then just add THS, hundredths, and it can be written as 1 upon 100. Then moving to the other values, there will be 1000 THS, so THOUSAND THS. It can be written as 1 upon 1000, and so on to move like the same going here. So after 1000, just put 10,000ths, then lakh, then 10 lakh. So it will be moving on in the left hand side direction, right? So this is how we actually got the place values, which you have earlier read in the classes, right? So now you are able to identify the place value. Let me move to the topic here, which is important, on which the questions will come. That is expanded form, right? So let me first rub the space here. So now I'm going to show you how to expand it, right? So we are solving the expanded form of this decimal number. So for that, first let me just move with the left hand side. So the first place here is ones place. So I'm going to multiply the number with its place value. That is as simple as that. So now put a plus sign, move to the next digit, that is 5. Also multiply it with the place value. So what is the place value of 5? Ones, tens. So simply multiply it by 10. Now moving on to the third one. So what is the place value of this digit? 2. So you can see, put a plus sign. So its place value is 100. So multiply it with 100. And so on if there are other values on the left hand side. Like 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. So there are only 3 values. So I have multiplied each of them with their place values and put a plus sign in between. So doing the same on the right hand side. So put a plus sign at the place of decimal and move with the respective digits. So let me just take 4 here. So what is the place value of 4? I have told you it's 1 upon 10. Tenths, right? Then again put a plus sign, move with the next value. So 1 is at 100th place. So 1 upon 100. Moving with the last digit, that is 7. Let me put plus sign better. So now last 7 is at 1000th. So put 1,000, right? So this is a expanded form of this decimal number. So this is how we're going to expand a decimal number into expanded form. That's all. So students, moving on to the next topic, that is compare decimal numbers. So now we are going to compare the decimal numbers like we have done in the fractions time, right? So let me just give you an example. So John has 15.75 rupees. So you can see this is a decimal value, and Salma has 15.75 rupees. Now who has more money? Now likewise, if you just look at the numbers, so you will see clearly that this is the larger value, but sometimes the digits are more complex. So let me just show you with the standard format how you will compare two decimal numbers, that which is greater. So right, which has more money, right? So let me first write the values side by side, so like this. Now thing is, we're going to compare the left hand side first. So starting with the left hand side and the leftmost digit first. So जो digit left side में सबसे last में है, left में सबसे पहले उन digits को compare करेंगे. So यहाँ पे मैंने last digit ली है, right, on the left side. So आप देखेंगे ये दोनों जो हैं वो same हैं. That means we can't compare these. These are equal values. So let's move further to the next digit. That means now we are going to compare the next digit of the leftmost digit, right? So next digit is 5 here. So this is also equal. So now you can see that on the left hand side both the digits 1 and 5 are equal. So that means we can't compare this decimal digits on the basis of left hand side value 15. So the 15 and 15 both are equal, so we can compare, they are equal. So let me just move to the right hand side of the decimal value. So now we are going to compare one by one, starting from the 10th place, right? So now we are comparing 5 and 7, right? So you know that 5 is clearly less than 7. That means 7 is the greater value. That means clear that this 15.75 will be the more money than 15.50. So this is how we're going to compare digit by digit, starting from the left to the right. So wherever the digits become smaller or greater, we have to then recognize which value is greater or smaller. That's all. So students, now I've explained you all the topics related to exercise 2.5. Let's just jump over to the questions here of exercise 2.5. Now the first question says, which is greater? Now the first part is 0.5 or 0.05. That means we have to now compare the decimal values again here, like we have done in the previous, just a minute ago, right? So let me just tell you how to compare this. I've told you earlier, so just applying the same format here. So 0.5 and 0.05. I've told you we have to start with the leftmost digit on the left side of the decimal. So first digit, you can see there's only one digit here. So compare the left side digits of the decimal, right? So you will see both are 0. So they are equal. That means we can compare on the basis of left hand side. So हम बढ़ते हैं decimal से right hand side पे. So आप देखेंगे decimal से right hand side पे सबसे पहली digit क्या है? Here it is 5 and here it is 0. So आप देख सकते हैं 10th place पे एक तरफ 5 है, एक तरफ 0 है. Now you all know that between 0 and 5, 0 is smaller. That means 5 is greater. So you can clearly see that you can write as, since 0 is less than 5, that means 0.05 is actually a smaller value. That means this is the greater value. So you can write 0.5 is greater than 0.05. So this is the solution to this question, right? So that's how we're going to write that 0.5 is actually greater than 0.05. Let's move to the another part here so that it can be easy for you. So let me again start it with the left hand side. So the first digit you will see is 2 and 2. So both are equal. We can compare on the basis of left hand side. So let's move to the right hand side. So first digit is 0 and there it is 3. So let me just first compare between, let me just change the marker here. So you can see here between 0 and 3, which one is greater? You can see clearly 3 is greater. That means this value is greater than 2.03. So that means 2.03 is less than 2.30. That means 2.30 is clearly greater than 2.03. Let's move another part here. So this is the last part which I'm going to explain you. The else parts should have to be done by you at home, right? So let me just show you how to do this. Now again, starting with the left hand side, both are equal. We can compare on the left hand side. Now let's move to the right hand side. Now here, the first digit after the decimal is 8, and here it is also 8. Now you will see they are also equal. So let me move to the next right hand side digit. So you will see after 8 there is no digit, right? So आप देखेंगे कि 8 के बाद कोई भी digit नहीं है. So यहाँ पे आपको क्या करना है? आपने देखना है कि दूसरी वाली डिजिट में क्या 2 डिजिट्स हैं डेसिमल के बाद. तो यहाँ पे भी 2 डिजिट्स होनी चाहिए, तभी हम कंपेयर कर पाएंगे. सो मैं क्या करता हूँ, एक डिजिट के बाद जब लास्ट में कुछ नहीं है डेसिमल के बाद, तो मैं अपनी मर्जी से एक 0 प्लेस कर सकता हूँ. तो कंप्लीट द डिजिट्स बराबर करने के लिए, क्योंकि यहाँ पे भी 2 डिजिट्स होंगी, वहां पे भी 2 होंगी, तभी कंपेयर होगा. सो कभी भी ऐसी कंडीशन आए कि एक जगह पे डेसिमल के बाद लास्ट डिजिट बची है और उसके दूसरी डेसिमल डिजिट में ज्यादा डिजिट्स हैं, तो उतनी जीरोस मैं लास्ट पे प्लेस कर सकता हूं इन द एंड ऑफ दैट डेसिमल वैल्यू. सो अब आप देखते हैं 8 और 8 तो इक्वल थे. सो लेट मी मूव टू द नेक्स्ट डिजिट, दैट इज 0 and 8. नाउ यू विल सी 0 is actually less than 8. That means this value is clearly greater. So since 0 is less than 8, therefore 0.80 is less than 0.88. That means 0.88 is clearly greater. So this is how we're going to compare the decimal values. That's all. So students, moving on to second question here. Now it says express as rupees using decimals. So we have to express this 7 paisa into rupees and using decimal here. So first of all, to represent as rupees, a paisa, there is a relation between paisa and rupees. You all know, I think. So that relation is 1 rupees equal to 100 paisa, right? So this is a relation that we are studying from our smaller classes. So let me just tell you that to convert rupees into paisa, we have to multiply, so we have to convert rupees into paisa, we have to multiply it by 100 here. That value which is given in rupees, to convert it into paisa, we have to multiply it by 100. And to go opposite direction, to convert paisa into rupees, we have to divide that paisa amount by 100. So this is kind of a solution to it, to convert rupees into paisa and paisa into rupees. So if I just look at here, so we have to convert this paisa into rupees, or you can say we have to express this paisa into rupees. So to convert paisa into rupees, we have to divide that value by 100. Simple. So what we are going to do is simply divide this 7 paisa by 100 and it will get converted into rupees. Now you can see here we have to express it using decimal. So this is a fractional value. Now we have to convert it into decimal. So there is a trick here. So आपको easily बिना divide किए कैसे decimal में change करना है, तो ध्यान से देखिएगा. जो denominator में जितनी zeros हैं उतनी डिजिट के बाद ऊपर न्यूमरेटर वाली वैल्यू के साथ पॉइंट लगेगा. अब आप यहां देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे 2 जीरो है डिनोमिनेटर में. सो एक तो ये डिजिट ही हो गई, राइट? सो 2 जीरो है तो 2 डिजिट ऊपर से लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे डेसिमल लगाना है. सो मैंने एक डिजिट तो 7 ही ले ली, एक जीरो मैं अपनी तरफ से ले लेता हूँ. सो यहाँ पे आप गिनेंगे तो ये एक डिजिट, ये 2 डिजिट. कितनी जीरोस थी नीचे? 2 जीरोस थी. तो मुझे ऊपर भी 2 डिजिट से पहले पॉइंट लगाना है. सो एक डिजिट तो ये 7 ही होगी, एक जीरो मैंने खुद से लगा ली. अब ये 2 डिजिट के बाद मैं क्या लगा दूंगा? डेसिमल लगा दूंगा. अब आपको पता है डेसिमल से लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे अगर कुछ नहीं है तो क्या होगा? 0. सो दिस इज हाउ वी कन्वर्ट फ्रैक्शनल वैल्यू इनटू डेसिमल व्हेन देयर आर जीरोस इन द डिनोमिनेटर, राइट? सो दिस इज हाउ. अगर आप सपोज कीजिए यहाँ पे अगर 3 जीरोस होते, सो व्हाट वी हैव डन, वी हैव टेकन अनदर जीरो. सो आप देख सकते हैं 1 2 3 डिजिट से इधर जीरो लगानी, क्योंकि 3 जीरोस थी नीचे. सो अब मैं पॉइंट लगाता देन जीरो लगती. फॉर एग्जाम्पल लेट मी जस्ट टेक वन मोर जीरो हियर. सो मुझे क्या करना पड़ता है? एक जीरो और लगानी पड़ती, क्योंकि 4 जीरोस हैं तो 4 डिजिट्स हो जाती है. 1 2 3 4. देन आई विल पुट अ डेसिमल हियर, राइट? सो नाउ देयर वाज ओनली 2 zeros. So what we have done, 7 0. You can see 2 digits and then a decimal, and there is nothing on the left hand side, so put a 0 here. So this is the amount of rupees this 7 paisa represent. That means 7 paisa is actually 0.07 rupees. Now moving on to the second part here. Now it's kind of a mixture of rupees and paisa. So 77 rupees 77 paisa. It is actually written like this, 77.77. So this decimal on left hand side value represent rupees and on the right hand side represent paisa. So 77 rupees 77 paisa. So now we have to convert this whole thing into rupees. That means we have to convert this paisa into rupees. So there's a method to solve it. So first step to solve this to convert this into rupees is put a plus sign in between. So मैंने एक प्लस साइन बीच में लगा दिया है. अब ये वैल्यूज वैसे की वैसे रख लूंगा. रुपीज एंड 77 पैसे, राइट. सो आप देख सकते हैं ये तो रुपीज में पहले से ही है, तो मुझे कन्वर्ट किसको करना है, पैसे को रुपीज में. सो आपको पता है पैसे को रुपीज में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए क्या करना होता है, डिवाइड बाई 100. सो मैं ये तो वैसे का वैसे ही लिखा रहने दूंगा. लेट मी जस्ट राइट इट क्लियर. सो मैं 77 पैसा को किससे डिवाइड कर दूंगा, 100 से. तो ये किस में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा, रुपीज में, राइट. सो लेट मी जस्ट राइट रुपीज कंप्लीट, RUPEES. So they will be similar, right? So next step is, let me just differentiate it. So now 77 rupees is again as it is. Now again that method which I have applied here. So how many zeros are in the denominator? 2. So just put the decimal after 2 digits on the left hand side. So आप count करें यहाँ पे 7 फिर 7, 2 digits हो चुकी हैं. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, 7 और 7 2 digits, नीचे 2 zeros ही थी, तो 2 digit के बाद मैं यहाँ पे क्या लगा दूंगा, पॉइंट लगा दूंगा, राइट. फिर एक क्या लगा दूंगा, 0 लगा दूंगा, क्योंकि लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे कुछ नहीं है डेसिमल के पहले. सो अब दिस इज द 77 पैसा इनटू रुपीज. सो दिस इज rupees value. Now what we have to do is simply add these values, right? So how to add these values? Let me just show you here. So this is 77 rupees. So आप देखेंगे कि ये 0.77 है. So 0.77. अब आप देखेंगे 77 के आगे तो कुछ भी नहीं है, तो मैं एक डेसिमल के नीचे डेसिमल ऊपर लगा लेता हूँ और जितनी डिजिट्स उसके अंदर हैं उसको कंप्लीट करने के लिए 77 रुपीज के आगे उतनी ही जीरोस ऐड कर लेता हूँ. तो दिस इज अ मेथड टू ऐड. सो आप देखते हैं 7 के नीचे कुछ नहीं, तो यहाँ पे भी 0 लगा लो. तो दिस इज काइंड ऑफ हाउ वी एक्चुअली ऐड द डेसिमल वैल्यूज. सो आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे. सो 0 plus 7 will get you 7, 0 plus 7 will 7, 7 plus 0 is 7, 7 plus 0 is 7. So 77.77 rupee. So this is how we actually convert this paisa and whole thing into rupees. Getting the point? That's all. So students, let's move to the third question here. Now in this you have to express 5 centimeter in meter and kilometer. That means we have to convert centimeter into meter and to kilometers. So first we have to know various relationship between meter, kilometer, centimeter, millimeters, so that we can easily convert centimeter into meter and kilometer. So before doing this question, let me just, I have written here some relations between meter, kilometer and millimeter and centimeter, right? So let me just explain it to you. So in 1 meter there are 100 centimeters. So you have to learn it first, then we can move on to this. So to convert meter into centimeter, you have to multiply that value by 100. And if we have to convert centimeter into meter, then you have to divide that value by 100. So this will be the all relations with the respective ones. So if we have to convert 1 kilometer, so there's in 1 kilometer there are 1000 meters. So in 1 kilometer there are 1000 meters. So you have to convert kilometer into meter, you have to multiply it by 100. And whether to convert meter to kilometer, you have to divide it by 100. 1000, sorry, what I'm doing here. So 1000 here. So to convert kilometer into meter, you have to multiply by 1000. So to convert meter into kilometer, you have to divide it by 1000. Doing the same with this one. So to convert kilometer into centimeter, you have to multiply by 1 lakh. Because there are, in 1 kilometer there are 1 lakh centimeter. So to convert centimeter into kilometer, you have to divide by 1 lakh. Doing the same with the rest one. So this is the relations between millimeter with centimeter, kilometer and meter. So to convert 1 centimeter into millimeter, so you know 1 centimeter has got 10 mm, right? So to convert centimeter into millimeter, you have to multiply it by 10. So to convert millimeter into centimeter, you have to divide it by 10. Now there's 1000 millimeter in 1 meter. So in 1 meter there are 1000 millimeters. So to convert meter into millimeter, you have to multiply by 1000. So to convert millimeter into meter, you have to divide by 1000. Now in 1 kilometer there are 10 lakh millimeters. So to convert kilometer into millimeter, you have to multiply by 10 lakh. Whether to convert millimeter into kilometer, you have to divide by 10 lakh. Right. So this is how you have to remember that for conversion by which you have to multiply or divide. Now just cram it, remember it in your mind. Now starting off with this question, so let me just rub this. So I'm going to show you how to convert 5 centimeter. So let me just solve it. So first I'm converting 5 centimeter into meter. So first step is 5 centimeter. So let me first write the relation of centimeter and meter. So you remember the 6 relations I have written. So out of that, the relation between meter and centimeter was that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Now you can see both the relations, both are related to this relation, right? So I have told you to convert centimeter into meter. You can see to convert centimeter into meter, what you have to do is simply divide by 100. So doing the same here, so 5 centimeter is equal to 5 divided by 100. Now it is converted into meter. You can see here. So to convert centimeter into meter, we have to divide by 100. So that will be converted into meter. Now earlier in the previous questions, I have told you that amount of zeros in the denominator, here are 2. So to 2, just put a decimal before 2 values in the numerator. So there is only one value 5, just put a 0 before it and put a decimal sign. Now there is nothing on the left hand side, so also put a 0. So this is how we converted 5 centimeter into meter. So that means 5 centimeter has got 0.05 meter. Remember again, let me just tell you again. So 2 zeros in the denominator. So one value is already there. Put a 1 0. So that will become 2 zeros. You can compare it here. So before 2 digits, I have placed the decimal and then again a 0. So this is the conversion of 5 centimeter into meter. That means 5 centimeter equal to 0.05 meter. Now again, now I have to convert 5 centimeter into kilometer. So now I am showing the relation between centimeter and kilometer. Now you remember 1 kilometer got 1000, and then let me just tell you 1000 meters, and you can see here to in 1 meter there is 100 centimeters. So that will be 5 zeros. So this is the conversion of kilometer into centimeter. That means 5 zeros centimeter. So 1 kilometer got 1 lakh centimeters. So now we have to convert centimeter into kilometer. So to convert centimeter into kilometer, we have to divide that value by 1 lakh. Getting my point? Now what we are going to do is taking that value 5 centimeter, and to convert this 5 centimeter into kilometer, we are going to divide that value by 1 lakh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So that will be converted into kilometers. Now count the zeros in the denominator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 zeros. So put a decimal before 5 digits. So 1 digit is already there. So what are the remaining 4? So put 4 zeros here. Right? So that will be 5 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see there are 5 zeros in the denominator. So we are going to put a decimal before 5 digits. So 1 digit was already there. So remaining 4 zeros I have put here, and put a decimal, then put a 0. So this is the conversion of 5 centimeter into kilometer. So that's how we're going to convert a centimeter into meter and kilometer by these respective relations. That's all.